me and Faye and her son Jojo in the back, right over here. Say hi, Jojo.
Hello.
Okay. We have invested a lot of time working in the paranormal. I mean, years and years. So I decided to do this series of videos called Morgan and Other Things. And it's a very interesting night because we are at Morgan's Corner. Let me stick this camera out the window. Okay. Now, I don't know what I just saw.
I just saw something there too.
You did?
Yes.
I just saw something, and it went from top to bottom.
Yes.
I just saw that.
I was like, what was that?
Yeah.
Like, and then I heard something crack in the bushes right after.
You did?
Yes.
I don't know. Maybe bugs, but I'm not sure.
Bugs don't crack like the crashing sound.
Yeah. So anyway, we were at Morgan's Corner. Out of all the places on the island of Oahu, if you mention Morgan's Corner to people, they kind of like perk up because this is like the area, the place where things can and will happen. I mean, and it does. We've proven it. So I wanted to go over with everybody why this place is haunted. So the first thing has to do with a murder that took place back in the 1940s and 1948, where a woman by the name of Therese Wilder was murdered, although some say unintentionally, by two escapees from Oahu prison, James Majors and John Polakiko, who had come over here. They were hungry and they were looking for food, and Therese was cooking, and they could smell the food, so they broke into her place, tied her up, gagged her, broke her jaw, and she suffocated to death. According to the story, afterwards, when there was a trial for the murder and everything else that took place, the haunting was generated based upon that. And they say to this very day that they are here, trapped in some type of loop, maybe reliving the event itself. The other thing is an urban legend that has to do with this woman and her boyfriend. They came up to Morgan's Corner at night. Now this could be the Morgan's Corner. I'm panning the camera around. This could be the one, okay? But there are actually, believe it or not, 4 different locations. Trust me, this is original Morgan's Corner. There's one also on the windward side too. So it could be there because there's a haunted tree over there. And the tree plays a primary part of the urban legend. So they come up here at night, this woman and her boyfriend, and they start to make out. And when it came time to leave, their car wouldn't start at all. I might be able to share you a story later on if I'm not too freaked out about cars that don't start up here.
You notice I didn't turn my car over?
Yeah, I noticed that. The car wouldn't start, so the boyfriend, out of concern, turns to his girlfriend and says, I'm going to go back to Honolulu and I'm going to get some help and I'll be back as soon as possible. So he leaves her here. And I don't know why anyone would do that, but he did. That's according to the story. And I'm pointing the camera towards Honolulu. This is up the road, the hairpin turn at Morgan's Corner. And this is going towards Honolulu. So he walked down in that direction. And he's gone for like hours. So eventually, I don't know how she does it, but she falls asleep. And it starts to rain early in the morning. And what she hears is what sounds like rain falling on the roof of the car. And then not long after that, I guess because of the fact that it was raining, that the branches of the trees around her started to just scratch against the roof of the car. You could hear this scratching sound, this dragging sound of leaves and branches going back and forth. And so she falls back to sleep. And then early in the morning, the police department shows up. And when they show up, they knock on her window and tell her to come out of the car. And they start escorting her away from the vehicle. And they're telling her, ma'am, whatever you do, do not turn around. And I guess right then and there, she must have thought about her boyfriend, so she just turns around and in utter shock sees her boyfriend hanging upside down from one of the tree branches, completely gutted from the top of his chest going down to his stomach. And so the sounds that she heard of the rain falling was his body bleeding out on the roof of the car. And the sounds of the leaves and the branches was actually his fingertips swaying back and forth, back and forth. And yes, I'm scared because I know the story, and yes, I'm scared because this is what happens when I tell the story. I have great responsibility when I tell stories. Anyone does. If you live here in Hawaii, tell your story correctly. Be pono as much as possible. And since we're telling stories, I'm here tonight with one of my friends who has had her own experiences with me here at Morgan's Corner. So I'm going to turn the camera around towards Faye, who said she heard something weird earlier. Faye, you and I have been here a lot, and I know that you have experienced your own things. What is one of the most crazy things that you have seen or experienced up here as the wind continues to blow?
Right? It's very windy here tonight. And, I mean, just sitting here, Obake and I just saw something, and this is take 2, by the way, because unfortunately somebody forgot to press record, and it's too bad because we both saw something. I don't know what it was, but it went from the top of the trees, from where I can see, and down, and then I heard a crack or like something hit the ground, and then Obake was like, wow, I just saw something. I was like, yeah, I did too. I don't know what it was, but it's creepy. But the scariest thing is most likely Shadow Man. So I've seen a couple of Shadow Men here. Once here in this spot, and I was sitting in the car because I was zapped already or something. So I get zapped a lot when we go ghost hunting, and then I just sit in the car to kind of recoup. And Obake was still out there, and in the corner of my eye I saw like a silhouette of a man, just his head and his shoulders.
Near a boulder, right?
And he was standing or something behind this huge boulder. And the boulder used to be right over here where this big tree is. And it's weird because that boulder's not there anymore. And that boulder was humongous, like 1,000 pounds or something, right, Obake? It was a huge boulder.
You probably need a construction equipment to remove it.
Like a crane or something. It's a huge boulder.
Pohaku.
And it's not there anymore. So I don't know if somebody moved it or if it, with the rain, it moved down, but I haven't seen it. Oh, and there's a water feature behind this area right here. There's a pond and a little waterfall. So, you know, if you don't know, a lot of energy is generated with movement of water. So there's a lot of energy here. But this silhouette was just kind of standing there and observing. And I could see it in the corner of my eye, and I was just like, oh my God, what is watching me? And so then I looked, and then nothing was there. And then when I looked away again, there it was again. And I was like, oh my God, I'm seeing things. What is that? And then I looked again, and I was like, Gravy, I don't see it. So only in the corner of my eye could I see it. And then when I would look directly at it, it wasn't there. And then I told Obake, I was like, oh my God, did you see that? There's somebody over there. Record it, quick, quick, quick. But nothing. Yeah. But there's a lot of like shadow entities here. Not just here, but like along this road. This road is filled with, see, I don't know what shadow men are. And you know, Joe just had a whole show about shadow people, and I was asking him all kinds of questions. What do you think they are, and why do they always peek? And you know, because I'm curious. It's not the first time that I've seen a shadow man.
And that's why we also call this new video series Morgan and Other Things. We are at Morgan's Corner right now, and to me, things overlap different experiences kind of like converge and come together, and that's why stuff like shadow people and other things are experienced over here. As a matter of fact, Jojo, do you mind if I ask you some stuff?
Okay.
Okay, so where's Jojo? Let me find him back there. So what have you experienced over here?
A lot of creepy stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Like what my mom said, a lot of shadow men. One of the creepiest things I've ever encountered over here was, I don't remember who specifically was with us. I know you were here, definitely. My mom, I think Uncle Joe was here, but down the road over there that goes towards Oahu, you can just see so the road is going down this way,
Mm-hmm.
and all you see is this black wall. It just starts forming and starts covering the road like this, to the point where you can't see anything beyond that black wall. And I saw something from that black wall. Like, I don't know how to describe it. It was like moving in like this, closer. Like it'll slowly build its way towards us.
Mm-hmm.
It was bizarre.
Was it right here or down the road that you saw that?
It was down the road.
Okay, coming into this place?
Yeah, it was like slowly making its way towards us. It was
You know what?
very spooky.
Mm-hmm.
It wasn't here, but when we're at Judd, do you remember that mist? I was
Yes,
in the,
yes.
Do you remember that?
Yes.
I was okay. I don't freak out
Mhm.
when I'm ghost hunting. I try not to.
We've had our moments, though.
Yeah, we
We've had our
try
moments.
to stay calm and collected, and just and do our thing. But we were at Judd Trail. Obake, you were sitting on that pillar.
One
and
second,
you were-
one second, one second, one second, one second, one second.